I'm Gabbie Davis, and I'm a jewelry specialist at the Galleria of Jewelry. And today I'm going to be showing you how I clean both a diamond engagement ring as well as a beautiful amethyst statement ring as well. Both of these rings here I would call extreme cases. Normally there's a lot of lotions from people who aren't removing their rings when they're applying their lotions or their hair products. So for the most part, when a ring comes in needing a cleaning, it just more so has like a hazy look to it, or maybe some slight caked up of soaps and lotions. But hair is definitely not something that I see every single day. The very first step before I even begin cleaning it is using the fine tip of the needle to actually check the stones. Looking at this ring here, it looks like it has been at least 6 months, if not longer, since this ring has been cleaned. Now with the style of this engagement here, which is called a split shank, where it has these openings along the side, it really has allowed a lot of this hair and this buildup to become caught in these openings of the ring. So I'm going to start out by using my tweezers and needle to be able to extract all of this hair that has gotten caught up in all of the openings and crevices of this ring here. The guest who brought in this ring is actually a hairdresser, which really helps explain why there is such an excessive amount of hair and products stuck up within this ring and how it has built up so much. So what I'll do is push the hairs out from both directions. I'll be able to go in through that split chink in the top, push it down into the ring where I'll be able to gather it all together with the tweezers to be able to pull this out. It looks like the reason all of that hair is kind of staying and clumping together within the ring is more than likely due to all the other product that she comes into contact with through being a hairdresser, like styling creams and conditioners and everything that she's using. Because as I'm pulling out these hairs, they are really like gunked and caked together. It's not just loose strands of hair, they are all compacted together. Not only has it gotten caught up in the openings where it's actually visible while it's on her hand, but as well as the part of the ring that's called the undercarriage, so that opening up underneath between the actual setting and your finger has become completely caked up as well. So with the amethyst ring, one thing that I do have to be cautious about is being a little bit more precise with using the tweezers or using the needle versus on a diamond ring. Is the amethyst is a bit of a softer stone. So I just want to make sure that I'm not rubbing this metal up against the stone to risk scratching it. With this amethyst ring and the way that it's set down into the metal, it doesn't leave much of the stone exposed up to the top, which means there is a lot of space for things to build up within this ring. It wasn't until I took the needle actually around the inside crevices of the ring that I noticed all of the hair that was coming out of it. So I start with using a toothbrush to remove the rest of the debris caught up in the ring, and then I realized that I can't quite get into those tighter spaces within the ring, so I grab a jewelry cleaning brush, which actually just has really fine hair-like bristles that make it a lot easier to be able to get into those tight spaces. After checking all the stones and pulling out all the debris, I take it over to our polishing wheel. The abrasive powders that are in that compound is what will actually work to remove all of those surface scratches and leave the ring with a nice shiny finish. So after polishing it, there's a lot of the remaining compound on the ring, so that is when I'll bring it over to the ultrasonic cleaner. The solution that's used in the ultrasonic, it's mostly water, then just mixed with a mild alkaline type solution that helps break down the polishing compound that's on there, as well as any other buildup that's on the ring. The alkaline solution is gentle enough to be used on the precious metals like the silvers, gold, but it's powerful enough to be able to break down that polishing compound, as well as shampoos, conditioners, lotions, soaps, other things that are built up onto jewelry. Since the ultrasonic solution is so hot, I am using a pair of tongs to both place the ring in there and pull it out of the solution as well. What really helps clean them in the ultrasonic is not only the high heat of it, but also the tiny sound waves or vibrations that go through the liquid, which is what helps break down all of the residue on the ring. By removing a lot of the buildup before actually putting it into the ultrasonic saves time from it having to soak in there. Leaving it in there for extended periods of time can actually cause the stones to come loose. With the diamond engagement ring, I let this one soak for about 3 to 5 minutes. Since it's not quite as durable with high heat, I only let this one soak in there for about a minute. So now to finish off, I'll bring the rings over to our steamer, which is just high pressured, extremely hot water, which is used to get off any of those last little bits of hair in this case, or any other debris that either myself or the ultrasonic missed out on. One thing that can happen when you do have a lot of buildup stuck in a ring is that can actually act like a glue, just because we don't want that pressure to be so high that it is able to push out those stones and have them falling out. So a few tips that I have for keeping your rings looking good in between professional cleanings would be to make sure that you're removing them anytime you're doing things such as cooking, gardening, applying lotions, getting into the shower, washing your hands. So one thing that I do recommend is bringing your jewelry in to have it professionally inspected and cleaned at least every 6 months, which is actually a free service that we offer at all of our Jared locations, where we will check your stones as well as give it a deep cleaning.